It is way too early in sunny California. We're still in the dark out here. Good morning, everybody. It's Ira Bowman, and I am flying solo. My partner, Joe Stepke, is unavailable to be on the show today, so Cup of Joe is literally just me and a cup of Joe. Well, it's 6 a.m. Who doesn't want to be up and live in the bright lights? Good morning. Where are you coming to me from? Tell me, what time is it? Where are you at? I'm going to have some fun today. We're going to do things different. I usually have a co-host who helps me. Good morning. We got some people in the house. Good morning. Prachi? Is it Prachi? Is that how you say that? You're from India. Good morning. And let's see. It is, well, it's good evening to you. Sorry. Good evening. 6:30 p.m. in India. It's one of the reasons why I like doing this time slot, even though it's really hard for me to get up this early. I'd rather stay up late. And so Saturday night, I do a midnight show from the United States so that you guys can catch me at 12:30 in the afternoon. But 6:30 p.m., 6:33, if my time is right. Anyways, so today I'm going to do some things different, guys. So good morning. Tell me where you're from. What time is it there? Florida's Clover is making it dark here. Oh, cover. Okay. Fog, kind of, I guess is what you're talking about. In Nigeria, good morning. And what time is it in Nigeria right now? Is it 4 p.m., I think? Something like that. And Jackie, good morning, Jackie. Now, Jackie was with me live yesterday. We have speed networking with Mike and Ira. We do that every Tuesday. That one's not so early. That one happens at noon my time. So it's perfect for most people except for y'all in India. In India, that's 12:30, just past midnight. Too late to start a networking event for most of you, I'm sure. But for Jackie, who I believe is in Florida, it's the perfect time. Hello from Kenya. Good morning, Lillian. I actually have a daughter with that name. Beautiful name. Lorena, good morning. Where are you coming to me from this morning, Lorena? So today it's Cup of Ira's Joe. Yeah, Ira's Cup of Joe. Wednesday's Cup of Joe with Ira or something. But I am flying solo. Gonna miss my LinkedIn bestie. Okay, so you must be, if you're in Florida, you must be really close to my daughter. My daughter goes to college in Pensacola, Florida, and it's 8 a.m. there because she's only 2 hours ahead of me in Central Time. Virginia Beach, good morning from Virginia Beach. Hello from Kenya, David. Good morning. From India, and the time here is 6:30 p.m. Well, technically it's 6:35, but who's counting? Good morning from Cornwall, England. Good morning. What time is it there? I think it's afternoon for you guys, right? Is it, let's see. Is it 3 o'clock? I think 3 p.m. Something like that. And Indonesia, it is 12:05 a.m. 21:05. I don't know what that means. Military time, that would be still evening, right? If that was military time, that would be, is that 9:05 if I'm doing my math right? Good morning. It's 9 in Michigan. Good morning, Michelle Foster. I guess I didn't realize you were in Michigan. What part of Michigan are you in? I was this close to moving to Grand Rapids, Michigan, I don't know, 8 years ago, something like that. And anyways, had a job that I'd verbally committed to in Grand Rapids, and it was right about Christmas time. So the owner of the company was like, hey, let's pick this back up after the new year, right, in January. Anyways, then I never heard back from him. So it is what it is. I just assumed that was God telling me not to move there. But really wanted to move to Grand Rapids, Michigan. We have some friends there, a bunch of friends actually in Michigan. So would have liked to have done it, but didn't work out. Patna, and good evening. Good evening, Suman. I'm assuming it's 6:35 there. And it is 4 o'clock, not 3 o'clock in Kenya. Well, thank you for correcting me. Now I know. Yep, evening in Indonesia for sure. Okay, 9 a.m. in Miami, absolutely. 9 p.m. Where was that again? That was Philippines. Yep, very good. And 4 o'clock in Kenya. Yes, I just heard that from another. Thank you so much. From South Africa. Good evening, because it's evening there now. Yep, rain. Okay, LA. In Los Angeles, what I refer to it as, and I live in LA, so I can say this now. Okay, smell A, right? That's a Bay Area term that I brought with me. Smelly, because the air is always foggy, smoggy. No doubt about it. 9 a.m. ish in New Jersey. Good morning. Nigeria, it's 2:04 p.m. in Nigeria. That's the western part of Africa, so that's why the time difference, it's just like the United States, we have multiple time zones. So good morning or good afternoon from Nigeria, Western Africa. Hello, everyone. Okay, let's see. Hello, Ira. Just wanted to ask, what's the status of H1b in the USA? I think you're still not able to get those. I think it's still nearly impossible. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so that's just what I think. Don't take my word as the gospel truth on that, because I literally don't know. I actually don't even know any HB1 visa lawyers firsthand. I know of some, but they're not like my friends. I can't just call them and ask them. You know what I mean? I wish I did. That'd be cool, because there's so many people I'm trying to help with immigration stuff, via the job search, obviously. So feel free, by the way, if you have a question, go ahead and ask me a question, just like Mohammed did. This show is probably gonna resemble more of Ask Ira than Wednesday's Cup of Joe normally does. It's gonna be a unique show because, as you can see, I'm here by myself, all by myself. But and it's 6 a.m., so I'm a little delirious. If there was only going to be one of us on, it really probably should be Joe this time of day. But he sends his apologies. He didn't ditch me on purpose. He couldn't avoid not being here today. So there it is. Ranveer from India. Yep, figured that one out. Very good. Welcome, Bihar. I'm not familiar with that city, but I do know the time there because India is cool. The whole country has the exact same time. That makes it easy for me. Hello, Abakar. Good morning from New Jersey. It's 4:05 in Kenya. Good evening. Yep. Where is here? Are you in the UAE? Are you in India? Where are you at? Candy, my friend, from Luxembourg. I always say it like that. I don't know why. Candy and I are about to have a meeting tomorrow, so that's kind of exciting. She's on my calendar. Nigeria is burning. California has been burning like for a while. Seriously, real bad. Worst fires in my life. Bad. So I pray for you in Nigeria. I know it can be difficult and scary, especially if the fires are close to your home or close to the home of your loved ones. We've had both situations this year. It's kind of scary when you're on evacuation notice, right? When you're like, they can call you at any time and say, get out. That's scary. So prayers for you. From India, good morning. Lansing. Yeah, I know where Lansing is. That's where Michigan State University is. Know all about it. Very cool. So you're also a troll. That's what you're telling me there. Good morning from UAE. It's 5 p.m. Thank you very much for that update. Morocco, it's 2.6. Yeah. Well, it's 11 now, right? But I get you. From the Philippines. Yep, I saw that. From India, it's 6:30 p.m. here. This is so cool. Okay. Mozambique. Olpanario, my daughter. Now she's in college, so she's got a ways to go. She wants to be a missionary to Mozambique. So I know right where you are. You're just to the east of South Africa. And I told my daughter there's really nowhere in the world she could go that's further away from me. So I'm excited about that. but she's excited, and that's all that matters. So my daughter will be in your neck of the woods in a few years. I'm guessing. Anish, good morning, and well, it's actually evening for you, Anish. But Anish is someone I've known on LinkedIn for years now. So hello there, my friend. Usually he's awake when I'm asleep, and I'm asleep when he's awake. And normally, in full disclosure, I would definitely be asleep right now. If it wasn't for Joe Stepke wanting to do this show at god awful early time for me. It's funny. At 6 a.m. for most of you is probably not that early. You get up 5 a.m., 6 a.m. anyways. But I'm self-employed, and I usually work until midnight. I was working on Coach V's website last night until 11 o'clock my time. And then, by the time I unwind and go to sleep, it's 12:30 in, the morning. So I go to bed at 12:30. I get up at 5:30. That was 5 hours of sleep. You know what I mean? I'm still tired. That's why I'm grumpy. I blame Joe. It's all Joe's fault. And, and then I text him and I go, "Where are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm not coming today." Awesome. All right. South Africa, it's 3 o'clock. Nigeria, it's 2 o'clock. We know that now. So what are you up to? I'm drinking coffee, and I'm hosting the show, and I'm talking to you. Santosh, what are you doing? Anything big going on today? Good morning from Mexico. It's 8 a.m. Where in Mexico are you? Because I am literally an hour away from Mexico, just north of the border. I am. If you guys are familiar with the geography of Southern California, I am just south of Riverside in an area called the Inland Empire. For those of you everywhere else, I'm from the greater Los Angeles area, right? If you could pin a dot on Los Angeles, that's where I'm at. But for those of you in the LA area, I am east and a little bit south. So I'm in the Inland Empire. Thank you. Shows are getting more and more interesting. Oh, cool. I'd like to meet you too, Mohammed. I'm actually, I'm planning on doing some international travel. In fact, my wife and I, we were just talking about Mexico. We're going to be in Mexico in January, so that'll be fun. We have our passports, so we like to travel. Now, obviously, in 2020, travel was limited. The only travel we got to do was in February. We went to Hawaii. We were supposed to go to Alaska, so 2020 was going to be a bucket list year for us for United States travel because we were going to go to Hawaii and Alaska. We ended up only going to Hawaii. Obviously, the Alaska trip was supposed to be in June, and it was canceled because it was via a cruise, and there was no cruising going on, at least from the United States. So that trip has been, I don't know that it's been postponed. I think it's just been canceled, honestly. I think there's no going back on that one. So my plan in 2021, obviously I'm going to go to Mexico in January, and I haven't settled on any other destinations for 2021. But 2022, I'm going to India. It's going to happen. I was originally planning on going to India in 2021, but with COVID and everything going on with it, mostly me losing my job at Bowman Digital Media. So I am self-employed, kind of a setback, if you will. It wasn't on my plan anyways. So in 2022, I will make it to India. I'm going to go to Bangalore for sure. I don't know where else I'm going to go, but I'm going to Bangalore. So if you're in the Bangalore area, 2022, stay tuned because I will be there. I will broadcast live from India while I'm there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to try to be there for a few weeks. I'm going to try to be there for maybe as much as a month, depending on how it all shakes out. So I will be there for a significant amount of time. I'm going to try to meet with as many employers and recruiters and job seekers as I can while I'm there. It will not be a fundraising trip. I will not be trying to raise any money. I will actually, if anything, try to do some philanthropy work while I'm there, help out while I'm there. So that's my plans for 2022. That's probably more than you were looking for with an answer, but there you go. When you ask me a question, you never know where it's going to go. I could put you in touch with quality immigration attorneys here in Miami. That would actually be cool. I would really like to meet some. So yeah, just send me a DM here on LinkedIn. Everybody can, and we can get in touch. That would be great. Hello, fantastic video used for me. Yeah, thank you. That's the point of the show. If you guys have a question, go ahead and drop them in the comments. That's what I'm going to be doing the rest of the show. I'm going to be asking or answering questions. Good morning, Iris sir. My question is, what's the best way to find employers that are wanting to stick with a remote work type situation for business analysts, SQL analytics guy? I think, Thomas, that is going to be the new normal. I really do. It's called a paradigm shift. And I think here's the deal. It costs a lot of money. Literally costs lots of money for infrastructure to house employees in an office space. 2020, pre-COVID, the myth was remote workers would not be as productive as workers who came and worked in person. So companies spent all this money on buildings, real estate, and then infrastructure, computers, IT, internet speeds, phones, security, all the perks that go with the office. They spent a lot of money on all that stuff. Now they don't have to. So as their lease start to expire, the leases of these companies, right? They pay rent, they lease. The ones who own, it's a little bit different. But many employers are going to start to go, why do I need to pay for all this office space? I can reduce the size of my buildings. I can even go completely virtual because the world has adjusted to it already. The employer, what do you get out of it? Well, you don't have to deal with the office politics, which is helpful. And for me, no commute. I mean, 100% no commute. That I'll never go back to an office. I work out of my house. You know why? Because I could roll out of my bed at 5:30 a.m. and be live broadcasting at 6 a.m. Because that's what happened today. No commute. I had to go from my upstairs to my downstairs. Took me all 12 seconds. I used to drive, for comparison, 55 miles each way from my house to work. It would take me 2.5 hours when there was no accidents and no traffic. No abnormal traffic. Lots of traffic. But you know what I mean? Nothing out of the ordinary, just the regular. So if I want to be at the office at 8 a.m., I got to leave my house at 5:30. I don't miss it. I really don't miss it. So now when I moved to Southern California, to be fair, my office was 30 minutes away with good traffic and an hour away with bad traffic. So, there's that. Pardon me, I've got this spot on my glasses and it's driving me insane. So I got to fix it. So pardon me as I dust myself off here. So I think, Thomas, to your point, you can ask an interview. You should ask in the interview, right? Will they be advertising a remote position? Not likely. I'm still not seeing now. If you don't know me, guys, if you don't know who I am, I run Project Help You Grow. I actually have a job board website, projecthelpyougrow.com. Okay. I list usually somewhere between, I don't know, on a slow week, maybe 50. On a good week, maybe, a couple thousand jobs. The number of jobs that I'm seeing that are listed as remote is definitely had an uptick, but it's still not the majority. So even though you're not really working from an office, they're still not advertising that they're remote yet. So we'll see how that goes. But I would ask in the interview if that's important to you. But I think that you'll be able to find one. Maybe not all of them, but there'll be enough. You'll be able to do it. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I take pride in my trollness. All right, go Spartans. My dream is USA. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's opportunity here. I have articles on Project Help You Grow that will teach you, how to make your dreams come true. It's not like, you just hit an easy button. It's not magic. It's a lot of work. It takes time, but I give you some strategies on how to do it. Please send a message on LinkedIn or email me. There you go. Maxed out. Yeah, I'm maxed out too at 30,000, but anybody can send me a message. So that is a good thing. Such a great show. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this with us. Hey, it's My pleasure. I'm here to help. Thanks, Ira. Let's. Oh, you know what? I have no doubt the people in India are very kind to me. Um, I was actually just talking to somebody. I can't remember who now. Oh, I know who it was. I was talking to Curtis Tompkins, the owner of Job Ready Today. And one of the questions to me was he was curious about my ability to represent companies in India, with my network, because I do that here in the United States. I don't know if you guys know that, right? I run Bowman Digital Media. You can see it behind me. Yes, this is a new backdrop. I got a new backdrop. That's my company logo. That's the one that I make my living with, right? So I make videos, I create websites, I do social media, graphics, visual communication tools is what I do for a living. Okay. So he was asking me, what about in companies in India? Can you help them? I'm like, well, I used to live and work in the Silicon Valley. So I actually have a lot of connections that are in India. I would tell you that I have probably somewhere between 10 and 20,000 connections in India, maybe more. That might be underestimating it actually. But anyways, I have a significant following in India too. So very effective. He was asking me if I was going to be competitive versus a certain person who does what I do on a smaller scale, but they're out of India. And I said, yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, I know I could tell you traffic sources for Project Help You Grow. India makes up about a third, yeah, a quarter to a third of the daily traffic my website gets at Project Help You Grow. So, anyways, that was kind of fun. But I am very fond of India for a lot of reasons. Finally glad to hear of a new normal. Yeah, it's the new normal for sure. And it'll only get more normal, if that makes sense. It'll become more common. As the leases expire, they're going to be really hard pressed to hit that reset button and re-sign. They're going to look for smaller spaces, new space, smaller space, no space. Because if your workforce is willing and able to work from home, you don't have to pay millions of dollars for, office space. You don't have to replace people's computers anymore. You don't have to pay for all this internet. You don't have to pay millions of dollars in, office supplies and coffee and I mean all the things people don't think about. The insurance. Anyways, not every business will be able to do that. But the ones where, like me, I'm providing creative services. It's not an inventory. It's not a physical inventory, right? I create digital products. So for those in the vertical markets where you don't have tangible items that you have to deal with, those can be completely virtual, like Bowman Digital Media is. Even when I hire more staff, and I do have my first staff member, my daughter from college, is working for me part time on basically after the hours and weekends to make money. So, there's that. Anyways, it's definitely possible. I've always somewhat been remote as far as office is concerned. So I wasn't remote. You know what I was? I was an out of the office employee. So I had an office, I had a desk, I had all that stuff. But then because I was in business to business sales, I would travel in my car to visit all my clients all day, every day. So I drove a lot. I used to put on my car anywhere from 100 miles on a really low. Well, I live 55 miles away from the office, right? So there's 110. But I would put usually somewhere on a given day anywhere between 110 and 300 miles on my car every day. I used to fill up every other day. Now I fill up my gas tank like once every other month. It's amazing how little I drive anymore. My kids were teasing me too because our church is 15 minutes away and I go to church 3 times a week. Seems like the only place I really drive is to church. Anyways, it is what it is. So I'm not 100% sure what that says. I'm guessing that that's Netherlands in whatever language that is. So, anyways, good morning. Good morning, Rainbow. Love the last name, by the way. I'm in the graphics business, so that's pretty cool. Ira is a beautiful lake somewhere in the world that I don't remember. I'd have to look that up. I don't know. I never heard of Ira the Lake. I think one of the greatest advantages of being 100% remote is that talent pool is much bigger. Yeah, and this is a deal. Okay, let's get real for a minute. Let's get real. If you're in India and you want to live in the United States and work in the United States, it's really hard to get that H1 visa, right? It's tough to do. But if you join a company as a remote employee and now you're with the company for a couple of years, you become indispensable, an integral part of the team. Now all of a sudden, it's not that difficult because they know you. You've worked for them. You're part of the family. Now you want to immigrate to the United States? Somebody's going to be much more willing to sponsor you and get all that done after you're a part of their team. Much more likely than before they know who you are. Especially if what you do is common. The ones who get the H1 visas now, who get the travel visas, the employment visas, the ones who get those now are the ones who do something that's high demand and low supply locally, right? It's got to be a niche thing, hard to come by. But with remote work, it flips the script. You could be anywhere. Now it's just about, are you capable? What do you cost me? Global labor is typically cheaper than United States labor. In most places, that's true. Because in the United States, it's expensive to live here. For example, my power bill is more expensive than most people's mortgage payment. And that's just the reality of living in California. It's awesome. I pay for that wonderful smoggy air. Anyways, I digress. So if you want to live in the United States, you have a golden opportunity. It starts in the form of remote working. You're going to do it for a couple of years. Then, when you are on a first name basis with everybody, they're familiar with you, you're familiar with them, you've proven you can do the job, that you're basically, they would never want to live without you. Then that's when you start talking about immigration. Okay, I would love to live in Lansing, Michigan. I don't know why. Move to Grand Rapids. It's better. It's that beautiful lake. Got to tease people when I can. Some companies will want, of course. Yeah. Not only will some companies want employees in the office, some will need employees in the office. You've got physical inventory we talked about already, but also services businesses. And then for client meetings, of course. And, some things like they're handling money or, there'll be lots of companies that still need physical people. You're going to go to a hotel, a restaurant, a bar. If you're going to go to an event like a concert, a venue, there's going to be plenty of jobs where you still will have to work in person. So this is mainly talking about, like customer service can be done, inside sales can be done, creative services can be done, even some HR stuff can be done remotely. So it's industry specific, genre specific, and even role specific. But a lot more will be done remote than ever before, because virtually everything, unless you've been deemed quote unquote a essential service, then the ones that are essential services, those ones pretty much are still meeting in person in California. But most of us are staying home. So a lot more will work remote than ever before, which is the point. Train people anywhere in the country and help them get a client anywhere in the country. Yep. Oh, a slacker's trying to pretend like he's. Dude, don't be on here like, hey, I'm here, man.
I wanted to tell you I am so sorry. I even got my boss holding up my stuff while we're driving to Evansville. So I
Your
wanted to
boss,
say
should,
I apologize.
your boss should fire you for being a jerk.
I felt so bad. It happened at the last minute, and with him coming in like that. So Ira, you know I'm sorry. He's trying to blame me.
I guess vacation is over.
Yeah, vacation is over. Vacation was
Joe
over this
Tober.
week.
Joe
So.
Tober isn't over. And I still haven't got my
No,
candy. Where's my
hey,
candy?
listen, the candy is coming. The candy.
I'm going to tell you what. The one you did yesterday, was it yesterday? Okay, first of all,
which one?
There's a couple of them that I really want to talk about. The
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando one was amazing. Thank you.
That looked great. Yeah, it did. That one looked awesome.
And then say hello to my little friend. I almost fell out of my damn chair.
Yeah. Oh my God, Al Pacino was
Come on,
awesome.
brother.
But I did Breaking Bad today. Breaking Bad wasn't that good. I don't think it was, but it was the only one that was decent.
You know I haven't seen this morning, bro. You know what happens. I roll out of bed at 5:30. I go to the coffee pot. I struggle to get to my chair by 5:50 so I could send you an invite so that we can make it on at 6.
Right.
You know how I roll. This guy usually texts me at 5:50 like clockwork. That's why I knew I was in trouble. Because he texts me at 5:50 every Wednesday morning going, I'm ready when you are, smart ass. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there as soon as my coffee pot starts dripping. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And then this morning you're going like this. Oh my God, something. And right when I saw your text that said hi and the coffee, I looked at my boss. I went, oh my God. I can't believe. So he's going like this. Well, why don't you just do it after? Because we had a call at 9:00 with a company.
Did you get them signed up?
Like
Did you get them signed up?
One of them is already. They're going to be in Indianapolis. So yeah, I got the meeting on my birthday, October 30th. We're having another meeting, so it's great.
So you didn't get them signed up?
Yes, I probably will get them signed up.
No,
I hope you don't mind me looking
at one of those guys.
That you got the side view of Joe, so I hope you don't mind that.
You're no, I'm looking at your huge schnoz right now. It's awesome. So one more question. Does your boss know that you're a slacker?
I don't know. Greg, do you think I'm a slacker?
Yes.
Very much
Greg.
so.
Now, here's the deal. Because 2 months ago, when he had his quota on day one, and I said his new quota for the month is 50, this guy goes, nah, I'm good. What do you mean you're good? You got all month. You already hit your quota. Get off your butt, slacker. Now, he did. Now, look, he signed up 25 deals that month. That's pretty good. But that's only half of the quota. So, slacker. No coffee for you. Coffee is for closers.
Coffee is for closers. You're absolutely right. Coffee.
And I want the good. And I want the good leads.
Oh my God! Now, Greg, who is my boss, and he is the BP. And actually, hold on a minute, Greg. Turn that around so you can see it. I don't want to be on camera, but just say hi.
Good morning.
Hey, Greg.
Very good.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Don't mind us. We're just live in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
Right.
No pressure
all
here.
Good. All good.
Oh, wait a minute. And before we start, Ira, do you mind if the actions and opinions that are expressed by Joe the finance guy has nothing to do with FEMA credit or anything else on there? So
yeah, or Greg. Get that out. Yeah, so it doesn't represent a SEMA at all. And
at all. Finance guy is Joe finance guy. So
but let me ask you this question: does Greg go Batman or Superman?
Lifelong Batman.
So you think that Batman could take Superman in a fight?
Well, with the extra gear he already has.
Okay, guys. So Batman with no superpowers and a bunch of toys is going to take on a guy who could kill you with his eyeballs from outer space. He doesn't even have to be in the same atmosphere as you.
Oh my God, we've gone through this. Will you stop making it about Batman and Superman?
He doesn't have to get close to your kryptonite trap. I mean, the guy who wrote the movie is a moron. Let me write the script. I'll play chess for Superman. You tell me what toy you're going to beat from miles away.
I'm just going off of stuff written by Jeff Loeb.
I know. You're going off for the mind of a crazy person. All right. It's fine.
But I is my LinkedIn bestie. All right. And
I'm relentless. I will come after you. Hard.
Right, you will. Yep. Very hard. And then, but I was gonna tell you, like, Greg, even though he is my boss, I actually knew Greg. Well, we were just talking about it. When did you start? 2017. Mm-hmm. So, in 2017, he started as an area sales manager, and we were talking then at the Christmas party, I think.
Before that.
Was it really before that? Okay, all right. Well,
all right, we got a serious question. We have a serious question.
Yeah, go
so Hinda on LinkedIn is asking, Ira, can you give, which probably doesn't realize Joe's on the show, because, you know, it was Wednesday's Cup of Joe with Ira, as it turned out. Here we go. So can you give tips on how to build a marketplace with all the ins and outs? Well, first of all, depends on what type of marketplace. Are you talking about an e-commerce site? Are you talking about a physical retail location? Or are you talking about some other type of business? Because I will tell you that Joe, the finance guy, helps people build sales in retail space.
Yes,
the non-credit needed payment option. Yes, I will take my cut, Joe. And how they do it. We know in the United States, 69% of folks don't have $1,000 in the bank. We know that from research that we've done. Okay, so if you're selling a high-ticket item, like for example, gaming consoles, maybe for Christmas, and you need to sell more gaming consoles, and the games go with them, and the person that's on the other end of the cash register doesn't have $1,000 in their pocket, and they don't have a credit card with $1,000 a room, or maybe they're getting ready to buy a house or a car and they don't want to affect their credit rating. You know, having a non-credit needed payment option allows them to still make the purchase, no cost to the retailer at all, and so everybody wins. Joe gets a new client, you get a new customer, and they can make the purchase today as opposed to waiting for them to magically have their bank account fill up somehow. So that's one way that you can help build. You can build the marketplace. Now, the other thing I'll tell you is there's a lot of ways to increase sales. I can tell you that most websites generate traffic with this type of a ratio. 40% of it's through paid advertising. 28% of it is through social media activities. 12% of it is through SEO organic backlink building. So if you are not working on your social media skills, which obviously you're here, so you are a little bit, but if your company is not focused on one of those areas, then you probably need to pay some attention to that. Paid advertisements like Google ads, organic social media growth, like, you know, having a LinkedIn business page and working on building your following. Joe's doing that. Joe, the finance guy, is doing that, right? Bowman Digital Media's page is doing that. Project Help You Grow's page is doing that. You know, Project Help You Grow has 23,000 followers now on its business page.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
Great job, Ira.
Not bad for a nonprofit.
Awesome.
Yeah, not nonprofit, only been around for 2 years. I'll take it. Okay, so that's a way to get it. And then the backlink building, like if you go to a website and you see a partners tab, go to Joe the Finance Guy, go to irabowman.com, go to Project Help You Grow, all of them. Even Pan and Nose, we just added, and you're on there, Joe the Finance Guy. Pan and Nose have just built a brand new partners tab, active backlinks. So Joe the Finance Guy is on there. If you go to Joe the Finance Guy, you'll see Pan and Nose. That's why it's on there. So, you know, we trade these backlinks not because we expect people to go to Pan and Nose and visit Project Help You Grow or Joe the Finance Guy. What we're just doing is we're creating links. It's like tying boats together in a boat party. When the tide rises for one, it helps everybody. So you get your website connected via backlinks to non-spam centered sites. Typically, you want one that has a page authority of 15 or higher, domain authority of 15 or higher. That's what you're looking for, because that's a quality link. And then you want what we call a follow link. which means when you click on the link, it actually takes you to the other thing, as opposed to the website is there, but it's non-follow. So you do have to kind of pay attention. So SEO is important. Networking is important. Advertising
Absolutely.
is important. And then payment options. How are your customers going to pay for the service? So again, if you have non-traditional payment options available, that can help you increase your overall sales. So there's some tips. You have follow-up questions. Got Joe, the finance guy, and Ira Bowman on the line. And what do we have? Well, combined, we have about 50 years of business sales experience. I'll let you guess.
Oh, absolutely.
Who gives what? He's turning
I think
50.
it's a little bit. I thought it was like sort of split. It might be a little bit in my favor, but I thought it was sort of.
No,
split.
it's in your favor. Now, overall sales experience, I might have you because as a kid, I started selling. I told you the story, right? My very first job. So 5 years old, I was 5 years old, living in an apartment complex in Las Vegas, Nevada. And every Saturday, I would go to all the doors and offer to empty their garbage. And they would pay me with whatever loose change they had. It was great. Because at 5 years old, I was coming home with like $20. So there you go. Sales 101. Hustle. Slacker. Hustle.
Every day. Hustle. Well, that's what I'm doing today.
It's because your boss is watching you.
Right?
Your boss is watching you. You're in the Batmobile.
That is not. More than a boss, he's my friend too. So this is a fun jaunt today, don't you think? This is actually a fun jaunt. But we're going down to Evansville.
If he's really your friend, he's loving it because he's listening to me roast you.
I know he is because he's smiling over there. Yep.
If I don't like you, I'll be nice. I'm always nice to people I don't like. Huh? I'm losing you.
What did you say? We're going through. We're going to be going into bad internet. It's probably going to drop soon because I'm going to Evansville. But anyways, I will talk to you later. I am so sorry, Ira. I owe you, but I will be on next week. Promise.
I might not be. We'll see. See ya. All right, that's Joe Stepke. His internet was really bad. What were we talking about with Batman and Superman? There's this movie, and actually, I watched it. So the movie is it's not what everybody makes it out to be. Batman versus Superman, and they do fight in the movie. They legitimately fight. But Batman doesn't actually kill Superman in the movie. Like everybody says, like, oh, Batman wins the fight. Well, he does win the fight, which I don't agree with. I think that's bad writing, but he doesn't actually die. He does die in the movie, but he isn't killed by Batman. He's killed by a power that comes from whatever planet Superman's from, Kryptos or whatever it's called. Anyways, there's this super thing, and they fought. Now that makes more sense because he's got more power than Superman, right? That makes sense. The argument that I have with Batman versus Superman is it's no contest. It'd be like Pee Wee Herman fighting the incredible, well, let's say somebody real, Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Or pick anybody from the UFC, heavyweight guy. Like, it would be no contest. And it's not to say that Superman isn't smarter than Batman isn't smarter than Superman. You could make an intellectual case for that. I don't know, because Clark Kent, was a journalist. He wasn't stupid either. But if you want to say, they're going to play chess and Batman wins, I wouldn't argue with you. I'd be like, okay, sure. But when you take the person Batman, who no one ever claims that Batman has any superpowers at all. Like, he has nothing. He has toys. He's rich. Okay. And he does know how to fight. I mean, Batman kicks a lot of people's butt. So there's that. But when you're talking about a guy, the Man of Steel, you can't kill him. Right? I mean, that's the thing. He's invincible. Superpowers. Super strength. super hearing, super eyesight, can shoot laser beams with his eyes while he flies, not with his toy, but he can fly himself in outer space. Breathing isn't a problem. He doesn't need oxygen. He could hover over the earth from miles away and shoot you with his laser beam eyes. Defeat that, Batman. With what toy are you going to defeat that with? Now, he may not always be able to hurt you, Superman, with those laser beam eyes, because maybe you're in the side of your cave under your waterfall hiding in the bat cave. I get it. But the fact is, you can't hurt him from there either. Because even when he got shot with a nuclear warhead, it didn't kill him. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Anyways, I just don't know how it's even plausible. Now, I get it in the premise of the movie. He got blindsided and pierced with a spear of kryptonite. But in reality, if I'm battling somebody and I have a weakness like that, and you can only get me with proximity, then I'm going to remove proximity from the equation. It may not be the most exciting fight to watch. You wouldn't want to necessarily pay to watch it on pay-per-view, but in styles of fights, this is how my mind works, right? Like, I'm going to figure out my strengths versus your weaknesses, and I'm going to exploit my strengths. Now, I understand and agree with everything Batman did in the movie. Brilliant. The only thing I disagree with is how stupid they made Superman by walking into the trap, right? In that movie, Batman's not even the bad guy. It's Lex Luthor's son, who makes a great bad guy, by the way, in the movie. I didn't mind the movie. It just the premise that Batman's going to beat Superman. It's next to, it's like sending your kid who's in Pee-wee football and having them go play the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs and expecting anything other than a slaughter. The Kansas City Chiefs are Superman in that analogy, and Batman is your Pee-wee football. I mean, it wouldn't even be like, I wouldn't even want to watch it. It would be a slaughter. Anyways, that's Batman versus Superman. Hope that helps you. Super serious. This is what we talk about on Cup of Joe. Baby Body Co. Have you think about contract and agency? I suggest a good one for you. I lost something. Oh, here we go. Help me, Ira. I started an organic skincare company last year, and my husband moved us out to Virginia Beach. What is the best way to network here? By the way, I am an introvert. Okay. I have lots of options for you, Baby Body Co. So first of all, you might want to consider hiring me. And I know that sounds self-serving, and maybe it is, but it'll help us both. I help companies grow quickly. That's what I do. Bowman Digital Media, I have a bunch of different options. But one of the things that I do is I build audiences for companies on social media, LinkedIn specifically. That's the main one. I'm working on YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I can help with all of them, but I concentrate on LinkedIn because A, that's where most of the business clients are, and B, that's where you're going to get the most play for the money. So, but I build websites, I do social media videos, I do visual tools like, GIF logos and animated graphics. Anyways, I help you get attention. I help you build networks. Now, networking, I do free networking events on Tuesdays. Speed networking with Mike and Ira. Join that. That's a lot of fun. We'll help you come out of your shell, right? Spend time on a regular basis networking, doing what you're doing, getting in the comments. You can do a lot of this stuff for free. A lot of what I do, you could actually do yourself. You might not be able to do it as well. It may take you a lot longer to get there. The companies who use me will sing my praises and tell you how I boost their website traffic. I increase their domain authorities with SEO work that I do. I'm kind of a nerd, but anyways, I can help you with that. But that's what it basically boils down to, the three buckets that I talked to about before. The paid advertising, which most companies actually do too much of. They spend too much money on paid advertising and forget the other parts. So you got to have a balance here. Paid advertising is important. I'm not saying get rid of it. I'm saying that's a blend, right? So you blend in paid advertising, organic growth via social media networking, and the third is your backlink building. So, and that can be the organic part. You don't have to pay for that. You can pay for SEO companies to help build your backlinks for you. And I do that at Bowman Digital Media, but you can do it yourself a little bit too. Remember what I was saying about partners, tabs, blogs. Anyways, there's lots of different organic ways to do it too. So hopefully that helps. If you would like, reach out to me, send me a DM. Let's get together. Let's have a conversation. We'll see if I can help you more specifically as a potential client. The original material was much better. I don't know what that refers to. Sorry. Oh, there's no doubt about it. And I think in the movie, he's conflicted about that. And I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying if it came down to them fighting, it would not be a contest. Like, no contest. But good guys, you shouldn't want to kill other good guys, which has always been part of my question anyways. Like, why would Batman and Superman fight? They're both trying to do the same thing. Stop the bad guys. They're not bad guys themselves. Do I like him? No, I don't like bad guys. Do I think he made a very good bad guy? I mean, as far as bad guys go, I think he made a good bad guy. That's what I'm saying there. Yeah, BNI. So BNI is, well, I mean, here's the problem with BNI. I've been a part of BNI before in multiple places. The good thing about BNI is you get a quick jolt plugin, right? And if you're not familiar with BNI, it's like a Breakfast Networking International or something like that. They get together usually once, I think it's once a month. If I remember, it might be once a week. Anyways, they get together, they have breakfast. Usually there's somewhere between 20 and 30 people at this table. Everybody gets to stand up and have an elevator pitch of 30 seconds. Love that part. Then they have, the business at hand in the meeting. They talk about stuff. Usually there's a presenter who presents some information. That's fine. They pass around slips with, leads on them. But the thing is, you kind of have to give leads. So if you don't give leads, you get fined. And I think it's like 3 a meeting or something. Anyways. So the problem is the quality of the leads aren't always great. And then the other problem that I have with it is it's usually the same people all the time. So it's kind of a small circle. It's not bad. It's really not. And it's better than a lot. But there's better ways to do it, especially with social media, right? But in-person networking right now, for the most part, is not happening anyways. So your BNIs are, I don't know what they're doing if they're meeting virtually, but it's a small circle, right? You can get much more on LinkedIn networking or Facebook. Facebook groups can be great. I joined a Facebook group. I'm going to pull it up. I really like it. The Facebook group that I joined, sorry, my internet's going a little slow today, is called, let's see, Build Your Business with Networking is what it's called. In fact, I'm going to tell you what, it's got 852 members. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show it to you. Okay. So this is it right here. It's called Build Your Business Networking. It's a private group. It's 852 people. Now, this to me is better than BNI. And the reason why is because there's more people and you're doing exactly the same thing. You can put up your promos. In fact, I did. Jennifer Brown Wigman is the person who created the group, I think. Let's see if I can find my post. Yeah, not so easy. Anyways, oh, here it is, right? So I put up this post. Are you a small or medium business owner who needs help with your visual communication materials? Meet Bowman Digital Media. Hello, that's me. And then I gave them the YouTube video that introduces the website. Here, I'll open it up and we'll look at it. Okay. So, and then I put this GIF. Now, this is the other thing I'm talking about with social media graphics. Here, I'm going to move this other way so you can see it, right? So I make these GIFs, and anyways, I'll play it. It says, need a graphic created. We design logos and more. Improve branding, marketing, sales, creative, fast, impactful. We design graphics, right? So anyways, And then I put this video in there. Hello, everybody. It's Ira Bowman, founder of Bowman Digital Media. Are you a small or medium business owner? If you are, I'm talking to you. If you need help with visual communication tools, a new website, some graphics, videos, new headshots for your team, you could need a whole host of things, and we offer much of that. Advertising, marketing, branding. Okay, so you get the idea, right? So BNI, like I said, and I think Shaggy, you and I are on the same page, right? It's not bad. It's not that I wouldn't do it. It's just, I always have to be careful how I advise people because I don't ever want people to think just like, oh, that was the magic bullet. You know what I mean? It's the collection or the sum of all these things. So when you get into the strategy, you have to think from the 30,000 foot view. Okay, I need paid advertising. I need social media. I need link building. Then you also have to, work on your customer service and your skills, your sales, make sure your products are good. I mean, there's all kinds of factors that go into it. So, anyways, to have a specific conversation about how I would help a specific company, I have to know more about that particular company because the vertical market, obviously we talked about it being skincare in this particular case, right? That plays into it. And then what's the delivery vehicle? Is it an e-commerce site, and then, what are your plugins and tools and what's your website look like? I actually had at Speed Networking with Mike and Ira yesterday, we actually did in fact, I have it up still. I didn't get rid of it because in full disclosure, I am going to use this company to shop. So let me share my screen again. So yesterday we had Speed Networking with Mike and Ira, and the owner of this website was in the meeting. So we were reviewing websites. In fact, most of the websites that we were reviewing, I built because they were my friends and clients in the room. But this one I didn't build. But this is an e-commerce site. It's really well done. The only thing that I gave him some critique on was I thought the landing page needed to be a little bit less about the products and a little bit more conveying the story to build some rapport and some brand loyalty. But what this is, it's ethnic food. And they're based out of Florida, by the way. He wanted to get ethnic food, but he wasn't able to get it from where he was ordering delivered. And so he's like, we really need to be able to get this delivered, especially with COVID-19. So he created this site, or had it created, I think is more, he has a team that works for him, developer team. Anyways, they created a site. I think they did a good job. I wasn't crazy about the green color. I think this was part of the theme that they adopted and they never updated it. So I don't like the way it contrasts with their yellow and black. I told them to change that. But as far as if you go into any of these pages, like go into any of the categories, really well done. Really well done. So I was impressed with the site. Anyways, the website matters. How easy is it to, pick an item? And how easy is it to, add it to the cart and all of those things? People don't necessarily think about that when they're talking about building their business, but it is important. The user experience is important. So building the rapport, getting away from the we's and the me's, talking about ourselves and talking about the client and relating to how it helps them is another thing that people in their marketing materials, in their branding materials, really need to focus on, because most of us don't care about you. We care about us. We want to know how it helps us, right? So there's all kinds of advice on how to do it. It just depends on where you are, what industry you're in, how you service your customers. In this particular case, for example, they had hired somebody with, I think he said 70,000, which is a pretty good number, contacts, email addresses that they were able to start with to start emailing out like chimp mail type emails. Stories about who they are, promotional, coupons and stuff like that to get going, and that helped them, launch their business. So anyways, it is 59 minutes and 37 seconds into Wednesday's Cup of Joe, which we did have a cameo appearance after all from Joe the finance guy, who left me high and dry this morning, but that's all right. He had a client meeting with his boss. We can't discredit that. It's important. And anyways, I've had fun. You guys, we talked the whole time about stuff, which is cool. Now, we're going to go into a little bit of bonus time. This actually is relevant to Baybody's comment, and it's something I've been doing. I want to talk to you about social media. I want to talk to you about your efforts on social media. Far too many people that I talk to on LinkedIn. Now, I don't know if you know, I have 190,000 followers on my personal account on LinkedIn. I've been maxed out for a couple of years, right? So obviously I have a large network on LinkedIn, but not as much as I would like on some of the others, right? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest. I have 600 followers on Pinterest, for example, which is actually for Pinterest is quite a bit. So you don't usually see large followings on Pinterest. People usually have somewhere between like 10 and 25 followers. So it is what it is. But why is it important to build your influence or your sphere of influence across multiple channels? Well, there's a couple reasons. Let me explain. First of all, there are hundreds of millions of people on social media. Most people on social media are consumers. They're there to entertain themselves or learn something, consume information. For my entrepreneurs out there, for my job seekers, for my sales folks, for my business owners, for my artists, if you have material that you want people to consume because you're a producer, if you can build your audience cross-platform, you have a much more viable vehicle to affect everything that you're looking for. For example, 8 out of 10 people who are hired in the world today do not find their job from job boards like Project Help You Grow or ZipRecruiter or Glassdoor, Indeed, whatever website you might be thinking of. Okay. Now, I own and operate a job board website, projecthelpyougrow.com. I would love more people to find a job through my website. I work hard on it to make it effective as a tool so that you can find a job. But 8 out of 10 people is the majority, super majority, above a super majority. It's most people, 8 out of 10. If you got an 8 out of 10 on a test, you'd have a B. You know what I mean? So most people are not finding a job through a job board. So Ira, how are they finding a job? They're finding the job. Most people are finding a job by networking. Let that sink in. Most people are finding a job by networking. Now, I know that you probably have your favorite platform. Mine is LinkedIn. I spend more time on LinkedIn than any other platform. In fact, now that I run Bowman Digital Media, I basically get paid to be on LinkedIn all day. So I am. Okay. But there are hundreds of millions of users on YouTube. There are hundreds of millions of users on Facebook. There are hundreds of millions of users on Twitter. There are hundreds of millions of users on Instagram. In fact, some of those sites have more users than LinkedIn. So if you're only focusing on LinkedIn, it's like, only eating dessert. It might be your favorite, but you're missing out on other things that can make you healthy. So I want you to consider this week branching out. You can take your posts from LinkedIn and pretty much use them on Facebook. You don't even have to make very many changes. Maybe if you have a tag or something, you might have to change the tag, right? You don't have to do a lot of extra work. And there are websites out there that you can use where if you post through it as opposed to directly on the site, where you can actually do it at the same time. For example, even on LinkedIn natively, on LinkedIn, you can have your post go and tweet. And I do that. Almost every time I post. My post also is a tweet on Twitter because they work together. Now, Instagram is owned by Facebook. So you can post on Instagram and have it carry over to your Facebook. I do that from Bowman Digital Media. When I go to Instagram and I post on Instagram, it automatically makes a Facebook post for Bowman Digital Media's company page on Facebook, which is kind of cool. So you can double dip and get a little bit more out of it. Now on Instagram and Facebook, they just announced it. You can actually cross-platform message. So if you get a message from somebody on Instagram, but you're on Facebook, you can read it and interact with them now on Facebook. So that's kind of cool. So anyways, I want you to Team Batman. You had me there, Shraggy. I was like, we need to connect. If we're not already, send me a message. We need to connect. I want to talk to you. But thanks, brother. That was cool. So anyways, back to this. YouTube, build your audience. If you're posting videos, if you're creating videos, you should have a YouTube channel. And you should be actively seeking an audience. If you need help creating an audience, then you know a guy. That's me. Hakan just joined us. Hakan is in Norway. He's in Sweden. He's from Norway. He was on our show yesterday too. And we actually reviewed his website for him too. Beautiful site. Love the graphics. Now we did give him hopefully some helpful critique to help him even take it to the next level. But a beautiful website. Loved it. Anyways, speed networking with Mike and Ira happens every Tuesday. It's 12 p.m. noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and I think it's 8 p.m. over in the UK, depending on where you're at, right? But in London, anyways, 8 o'clock. So it fits most people. Again, I apologize for those of you in India. I know that it is just after midnight there, so that's a bummer. But I have the show on Saturday nights. It's at midnight. It's called International Networking, and that one is really mostly for you folks in India and all the places where it's like the other side of the world from me, which is, India and Indonesia and even Australia and all those places up north, China and Russia, even, the Middle East to a certain extent. It's more convenient for you guys over there. So early, it's like 8 a.m. in the UK on Sunday morning when I go live at midnight, Saturday night in California. So anyways, it's my Sunday show, but I do it right as Sunday starts for me. So anyways, join us. So social media, pay attention to it. If you run a business and you need help, again, if you need a no credit needed payment option, that's what Joe the Finance Guy does. Now he works for Acima Credit. That's the company that he represents. But the opinions, like we talked about, the opinions on the show, expressed opinions are those of Ira and Joe, not of Acima, just to be clear. But anyways, if you need that help, reach out to us. JoeTheFinanceGuy.com. Really simple. JoeTheFinanceGuy.com. You can learn all about Joe. If you like the website, I made it. If you don't like it, it's Joe's fault because he thinks Batman can beat Superman. I will be back on tomorrow. Exit Your Way's Roundtable starts at 8 a.m. If you're not familiar with Exit Your Way, it's exityourway.us, not .com. It's exityourway.us. I am running the Los Angeles area, and I am a fractional employee for them. I run sales and marketing, so that's kind of fun. And what time's in the Philippines? Okay, so you have to remind me, what time is it now? I don't know. You probably just need to Google it. That's probably the best thing. So if you're talking about the midnight show here, it's 7:11 a.m. right now. So what time is it there? We could do it like that, right? Good morning, Sabrina. It's not Joe and Ira today. It's Ira. Joe actually did make a cameo appearance, but he had a business meeting he had to be at, and so we didn't want to change the time of the show. So I went live without him, and then he called me from the road, which is kind of funny. But good morning. BNI is a group. It's a networking group, and it is It's really good for service type businesses. That's what I found. Like the leads for service type businesses. So accounting firms, cleaning services, glass repair, printing, which is why I was in it, because I was in the print business, right? So it's good for stuff like when you're running a business, small to medium sized business, that's really what BNI is for. It's for small to medium businesses that are local market, where people don't know about your business, but they need your services. And so it allows you to meet other business owners, and then the sphere of influence goes, instead of trying to swim by yourself, you have 20 other business owners who basically are out there trying to help you find leads, because that's the way BNI works. So if you're not familiar with BNI, you should check it out. Usually you have to buy your breakfast. So when you go as a guest the first time, typically the sponsor, whoever you're a guest of, typically buys it for you, even though they don't tell you that. They pay the fee for you. But so you usually get one or two where you can go for free, but then you have to pay because you're eating. But that's no big deal. I mean, it's $10, $20, something like that. It's not going to break the bank. But I'm telling you, if you don't do any of that local networking, BNI is a good way to get started. The problem with BNI as a sole strategy is it's limited. But as part of a greater networking strategy, and this is what Shraggy was talking about, it does make sense. When California opens back up, I will strongly consider joining a BNI group or something like it, if it's not an official BNI group. The problem that I have with BNI is, it's a little bit limited in its reach because, again, it's a smaller group. Usually it's 20-ish people. Okay, so if it's 10, 12 p.m. there now, and it's 7 a.m. here, and you go at 35 miles an hour. No, I'm just totally kidding. Let's see. So midnight for me would have been 7 hours ago. So it would be 3 p.m. your time. Okay. So at 3 p.m. your time on Sunday, I will be live. It'll be Saturday night for me. Good morning, Sonia. I was so disappointed because I thought you were on speed networking yesterday, and then you weren't really there. I was ready to pull up your website. Anyways. Remo was giving me a problem yesterday. So if you tried to log on to the speed networking and you couldn't get in, I apologize. It happened to everybody. We had 33 people sign up, and then we had, I think, 16 or 18, something like that, people in the room. But everybody, it was like 2 minutes. So it was like 2 minutes after start time, there was nobody in the room. And all of a sudden, everybody showed up. Remo had a collective freeze or something. So anyways. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I saw you there in the list, but I pulled you up and called you to the stage, and I was ready to pull up your site. And I was talking about your website too, because Sonia, if you guys don't know Sonia runs a virtual assistant company. She's near Chicago, so she's also a job seeker looking for work in the Chicago area. But anyways, she was on Ask Ira in the comments, and because I like her and she does win-win networking, I pulled up her website and gave it a quick, little promotion on my show. And then I was telling the people about that in the meeting yesterday. Hey, you're welcome. It'd be my pleasure. So I try to do that show, that Saturday night midnight show, to give the people who are normally not able to catch me live an opportunity to catch me live. That's the whole point. How do you see your advisor company page grow and audience followers on LinkedIn? Really, thanks for your life. Well, I mean, the number one thing people do is they pay me. I mean, I don't know how to say it more clearly than that. This is Antonio Jesus. So I'm gonna tell you what. This is what you need to do. This is in your budget. Check this out. I help people build their LinkedIn business page. I actually can manage it for you. That's what I get paid to do. I have a starter package. It's $500 a month for businesses. And I do a lot of companies that I've managed their business pages for. That's where they're at. They're at that level, that starter level. My most popular one is the next one up. But anyways, check it out. Click on the link. I put it in the comments. It's right here. So actually I could do this too. If you go to my site, which I will show you right now, if you come here, I have this one, Social Media Manager, $500 a month. I do posts and replies to comments on the company page. You get custom art and a 60-second video, which is great because you can use that. Again, remember I was talking about YouTube and Facebook. You can do all that. It includes SEO and brand building via my network. So I basically tag you in my posts. And then you get 5 hours of dedicated time per month where I'm working for you. So I do all that. That's the package. Anyways, you can read the other ones. And then I have a host of what we call a la carte packages here too, like logo design, GIFs, SEO work, press releases, social media videos, website design, website services, and website management. So anyways, check it out. That's my website, boomdigitalmedia.com. Yeah, no, I know. I 100% know that. But, I take companies usually that have like 10 or 15 followers and build them up to 1,000. It usually takes me about 3 months, 4 months, something like that to have that kind of growth. NBS, for example, when I took them over, they had 32 followers, I believe, and now they're at 900. So, I definitely know how to get small companies to grow. Awards 21 DM. I'm not sure what this is, but somebody is giving me all kinds of, I don't know. I might have to block that guy. Yeah, it's really too late, Adam. It's pretty much over. And this person needs to stop because this is the way to get blocked from Irish. So stop it. Although, I mean, I guess it's good for me. It gives me more comments, but I'm not interested in spam. So knock it off. Don't like it. All right. Very good. Okay. That was Wednesday's Cup of Joe with Ira and no Joe. Well, a little bit of Joe. We will be back next week. Joe will be here. He's already committed to being here. I thought he'd already committed to being here all the time, but apparently that was confusion on my part. Anyways, okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn on the music and I will see you again. If you're looking for me next, you can always find me. Go to LinkedIn, go to my profile. I have a guide. It's called the Ira Guide. It tells you all the dates and times where I am on the internet. You can find me live on video. So I'm on every day of the week. So you can find me wherever you like, whenever you like. Have a good day, everybody.